Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is Madden Football on EA Sports. Coming up next, we've got what should be a good one between the Denver Broncos and the Seattle Seahawks. With that, let's get up to Seattle. Standing by at CenturyLink Field, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
Coach, we are just about set for football at CenturyLink Field here in Seattle. A few moments ago, they raised the 12th man banner, and this place, as usual, rocking and rolling. This crowd, as we've come to expect in recent years, as loud as any in the NFL, and they get even louder when their Seahawks are introduced. We're ready for football as the Seahawks get set to do battle with the Denver Broncos. Alongside my broadcast partner, Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and as we look at this matchup, every time there's something different to focus on. So I'll just ask you, what do you see here in this one?
Well, Rembrandt, you've given me a pretty blank canvas to focus on, haven't you?
Yeah.
Where do you think I'm going to go with this?
Oh, secondary?
You know me well, right? In a game like this, it's always about the secondary. Can they handle the passing attack and make a few plays?
Here we go in a rematch of Super Bowl 48. The Seahawks and Broncos are underway. This fielded at the 2. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. So here are the Broncos now for their opening drive. They will be led out by a second-round pick in 2019. Out of Missouri, it's Drew Lock. Now the first carry here for Phillip Lindsay. Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones and a first down. You know, I have a pretty good friend, Charles Davis, who tells me that when he sees plays like that, strong runs to the right, reminds him of the 1960s Green Bay Packers.
Boy, those were the days back when the fullback actually carried the ball as well as blocked. Then you had a halfback. You had pulling guards, guys who could get out and run. And you can hear the great coach saying it back then. So we get a seal here and a seal here, and we run this play right in the alley.
The big play to start him out. Has him at the 45 already. On first down, right back to Lindsay. And right away, he lost the football. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And to the 43. So down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over.
They may have the edge on the scoreboard, but that hasn't made them passive, has it? I mean, they dialed up a pretty good run blitz there. And Brandon, you know that all blitzes aren't just designed to get to the quarterback and the passer. Sometimes you're just trying to take away every gap, every hole that might be created in the running game, and they did it to perfection and caused a fumble there.
Took away the gaps, took away the holes, took away the football. This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. And the catch is made here by Tyler Lockett. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
The line to gain is the 33 on third down. From the shotgun, Wilson. Open man is Metcalf. He's got it. And he's taken down inside the 30. 11 yards there and a first down for Seattle. After getting that turnover on the first drive of the game, you'd hate to just stall out the momentum, go 3 and out. They're able to avoid that there.
Yeah, we talk about complementary football all the time, but I think it's a little bit deeper than that. Defense went out, forced a turnover, gave the ball to the offense. It's now the offense's responsibility to pay that off for them, to show respect to them. Hey, you guys got us a turnover. We appreciate it. They want to continue their drive.
This one into the hands of Metcalf. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's second down.
They threw the screen to the perimeter, but to no benefit at all. Tackled behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of yardage.
On second down now, it's Carson. And he's got about 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 25.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
A nickel set defensively for the Broncos here on third down. From the gun, it's Wilson. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawks touchdown. DK Metcalf there to make the grab as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. And the QB rating right now sky high. 4 for 4 on that opening drive, and it ends with a touchdown pass.
Yeah, I don't know quite how to figure it out. I think I need my friends from MIT to come in and help me. I think 158.3 is the number one.
Yep, that's the
right. That's the
high
highest you can get. That's where he is. He'd like to continue on that pace.
Extra point up and through by Myers. And that makes the score 7-0. So the drive there took 6 plays. And the Seahawks capping it off with a touchdown. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And Denver getting set to take the field. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
You know, they're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up. Lock and the Broncos going to come up 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They look to throw. It's Locke. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete. The offensive starters now for the Broncos.
So let's all work together on this one because it's natural to just watch the football. But I want all of us to watch the center of this offensive line, the center and the 2 guards. They've got to be able to control the point of attack, and they didn't do such a good job on that last play. Plenty of opportunities to redeem themselves. They'll have to take advantage of that and start to make progress.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Faking the give to Lindsey. Here's Locke. Man open. He's got it complete to Cortland Sutton. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 22 yards there, a first down. And there they went crossing route against the zone defense. What do you think of that?
Takes real coordination between the passer and the receiver because you've got to read those zones and where the open spots are and be on the same page with the guy throwing the football. Because sometimes you're throwing it in front of the zone. Sometimes you're throwing it between the zones. Sometimes the receiver's going to just kind of find a spot and what we call sit down and present himself to the quarterback and throw it there. It's a tough read, but when they're in sync, it's really effective.
On 1st and 10, it's Lindsey. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. Moving backwards on 1st down, never a good thing. What does that do for the mindset on 2nd down?
Well, it changes your play call, definitely, because as a play call, you're advancing yourself thinking, okay, we're going to get a gain here. Now you've got to go back in reverse, come up with something to pick up not just the yardage lost, but gain a few extra.
On 2nd and 11 now. Locke. Open man, that's Noah Fant, the tight end. And this will be good for a pickup of 9 to the 46.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
Locke going to try and throw on 3rd down. He's got a man. It's Sutton. That's complete. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 22-yard line. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a 1st down.
Come on, set, 8, read. Shoot.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Trey Flowers picks it, and a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. That time defensively looked like they showed quite a bit of pressure but backed off, and it proved fruitful. They get the pick.
He went through all of his rules about getting rid of the ball quickly because he read blitz. He saw all those people stacked at the line of scrimmage, and then they fooled him by dropping into coverage. Now he's ready to get rid of the ball fast, but guess what? Too many defenders out there. Exactly as you described, an interception.
All day, just like that, just like that.
Under 10, under 10, 10.
After the interception, here's Wilson. Being chased out left. Now he'll pull it down. And they'll mark him down right around the 9, just shy of the 10. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's 2nd down.
Well, he did a nice job keeping his eyes downfield, waiting for someone to get open. But once the pressure forced his eyes down to see the rush, it was time to make a break for it.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Wilson, it's caught, Lockett. And out of bounds across the 15-yard line. 7 yards there and a 1st down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme, and you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
It's a gain of 12, 1st down Seahawks.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Right here, right here. Double time, double time.
Now it's Carson. And not much. Maybe a yard up to the 29.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd and 9, Wilson. He'll run it. The rushing numbers for Wilson, maybe down from earlier in his career, but he's still a threat to go, showing it there, picking up the first down. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
I'm coming after you.
Here's Carson. Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Single receiver. Hey, you're on the
Now they'll throw it with Wilson. That's into the hands of his tight end, Will Dissly. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 1st down Seattle on a pickup of 13.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the 1st down.
Wilson going to lead his guys up 1st and 10. And he's a perfect 6 for 6 here to start the ball game. This is Carson. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. The tackle made by Todd Davis.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
From the 41, Wilson, he'll find Metcalf. And he's going to get this inside the 30. And this is going to be another 1st down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos' 26. And boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables, otherwise they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
They'll throw on 1st down with Wilson. That's complete to Dissly, the tight end. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. Now that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
The first carry for C.J. Prosise. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down.
I saw Von Miller in college at Texas A&M, and all I kept hearing about was his speed off the edge to the quarterback. But what impressed me, his balance and his ability to take on blocks and be a force in the run game, as we just saw there.
I'm coming after you.
On third down, Carson. And he will have the first down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. Getting the sense, Charles, are going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, it's working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
Hey, defense, let's go. Pick it up, D.
They go play action here on first down. Rolling to his right. And now he's going to use his legs. And they're going to stop him here short of the goal line with the flag down. Well, this could set up a very interesting decision. So that one a hold right guard.
And you understand why offensive and defensive linemen probably go to martial arts schools and work on their hands so often, because that can be the make or break difference on a play. This time he had to grab a jersey in order to make the play happen. Got caught for the penalty.
A terrible spot for a holding call as they'll try again, but now from further back on first and goal.
Come on out here.
Now a give right side. It's Carson, and he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
So now then, the penalty's got him set up with a first and goal.
Double tight, guys, double tight. Alert, alert. 3 down.
They run it with Carson. And from the 9, they get this to the 5-yard line. They're mounting a nice drive here. Good chunk of yardage there again. O-line, they've been solid this drive.
They have that look about them right now that says, if you do anything but run the ball behind us, you're crazy. They have really moved it well on this drive, and they want to finish it off the same way.
And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's second and goal. And it's caught. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. Only 3 yards there on the completion. That'll lead to a third and goal.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
Meanwhile, on third down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. So it's been a long drive. They've held the ball for quite a while. Now what do you do here?
Well, to me, at this stage, after this drive, this close to the goal line, 3 points would be a letdown. I'm going for it here.
And Myers able to knock it through. And the lead moves to 10-zip. That drive just seemed to go for an eternity. I could kind of hear our sponsor saying, hey, we need to get our product pushed here. But then it ends in a field goal.
Yeah, how about that? Not enough time for product placement, but plenty of time to get 3 points out of the deal. I know that the guys on defense, though, they wanted to get those products out there. They wanted to stop that drive, just weren't able to do so.
Myers now converted on the field goal try. Now he's on to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. And he had to be pleased at the start of the last drive. The offense was moving, but certainly not pleased at the end result, an interception.
And every team we ever talk to at some point in the conversation, the coach, player, someone talks about, you know, we've got to finish. We've got to finish off drives, finish off the game. There's an example there of not finishing, doing everything right, but not getting the result that you need.
Locking the Broncos going to come up 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. He sets to fire deep. And incomplete. Crisis averted. Almost picked. Instead, 2nd down. The Seahawks, here's their defensive lineup.
Bobby Wagner's one of the more fluid middle linebackers in the NFL, able to range deep in coverage, also able to rush the quarterback both inside and off the edge, and is an absolute tackling machine in the running game.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Check, 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 check.
Back to the air on 2nd down. It's Locke. He's got a man. Complete. There he goes left side. And all the way home for a Broncos score. Deshaun Hamilton, 75 yards, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. He put quite a bit of air underneath that touchdown pass. Of course, we knew that he had the strong arm.
That part was easy. You could see that throughout his college career. But what you want to know about a rookie is when the pressure's on, can you throw with touch? He just did right there. And, boy, it was pretty.
On here, Brandon McManus for the point after. And they're back within a field goal. It's 10-7 now. That drive started on their own 25. 2 plays, 75 yards later, into the end zone. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him in contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about
toe
that.
Bashed it.
Super toe.
The drive starts with C.J. Procise. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. First down, Seattle, 16 yards, the gain there.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. He's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. This is Procise on the carry. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They went right back to him, but he pretty much had nowhere to go on that play.
Yeah, the previous carry looked pretty good. That one, maybe he was a little tired. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he should have tapped out and had a second back come in and maybe make that run. Who knows?
Check 45 to mine. Too little, Captain.
On 2nd and 9, Wilson. And now he'll tuck it and run. All that gets him is just a yard, and now it's 3rd down.
Green 80.
Mike 51. I got you, son. I got you, son.
On 3rd down, Wilson. He'll buy some time right. He can run for it, and he will. And this is going to be another 1st down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos' 33. 10-7 our score after 1 right here on EA Sports. Wilson now nearly perfect. 9 of 10 in this first half. It's 1st and 10. Operating from the gun. Wilson. And he's going to keep it here. The escapability in evidence there is that one good for 15 in the first.
Man, defensively, that hurts. They got him out of his rhythm. They had him hemmed in, but somehow he was able to tuck it away and get away for a gain.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. Russell Wilson with 2 first-half touchdown passes. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. And, partner, they found a gap there on the post pattern, and it was in the middle third of the field.
And that's really difficult to do because ordinarily the safeties are back there to prevent that happening. But they found the opening and exploited it.
And there's going to be a stoppage here. The booth wants to take another look at this potential touchdown. They had to go to the monitor, get an extra look. That's what the technology is for, and this touchdown will count. Now Myers for the extra point. It's good to make it 17-7. A drive that time of 6 plays. And it all culminates with a Seattle score. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. This will be taken in at the 1. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line.
Ready, break.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2 minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
Jadeveon Clowney there on the stop.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
Right there, 54 Mike. I got you. I got you. Watch that screen.
Back to the ground, this time with Freeman. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 6 yards to pick up, and that's a first down.
And that's a nice pickup of a first down on that second down run. And at that yardage gained, they can run that play on any down.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
All day, baby, all day.
Ready.
Now it's Lindsey. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple yards out of it, because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Watch the slant. Watch the slant.
Block off of play action. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Well, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. Not a chance at all. Way easier said than done.
Throwing his lock on 3rd down. Airing it out for Hamilton. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. On 4th down, on is Colby Wadman now to punt. Back deep for the Seahawks, Tyler Lockett. And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. Here's Russell Wilson and the Seahawk offense now getting set to go again. And he's been good. 2 first-half touchdown passes, no interceptions so far.
Does a lot for your confidence, does a great deal for your team, gives them a lead, and they're feeling really good about how they're playing. I think he expects to throw at least another one.
I was going to say, now he wants the first-half hat trick, doesn't he?
Oh, without a doubt. Go ahead and fling him on the field, folks. He wants that type of celebration.
Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. From the gun, Wilson throwing right, and that's complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. That'll pick up the first down for Seattle on a gain of 18.
That's tough to play zone defense when they can just curl up right there in front of you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we talk about finding the soft spot. Defensively, how do you make sure they don't find the soft spot like they did there?
Tough to do, because what they normally will do is run routes that'll pull you out of that spot that they want to get into. That's what we call not taking the cheese, right? Don't go for the mousetrap. But it's hard to do, because when you see a guy cutting that in that direction, you tend to go towards him.
On 1st down, Carson. And if there was a lane there, it closed up quickly as he stopped for no gain. 2nd down. If this defense wants to stay in this ballgame, they've got to start ending some drives. That helps.
And they have to look ahead at what they expect the offense to do. And right now with that lead, that's run the football. So you don't just stack the line of scrimmage. You have to get upfield and try and make some plays in their backfield.
Throwing on 2nd down. Wilson throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. The intended receiver was DK Metcalf. 3rd down here.
You've always been very good about checking my math. Am I correct? That's the first time that it's been incomplete when they've thrown it to him?
Yes, he had caught every other ball coming his way.
So they feel like they've got something really good going there, and they're going to continue to go there until the defense makes an adjustment and takes it away.
Well, they finally made an adjustment there. We'll see if they can build on that stop. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Von Miller doing what he does best with a sack.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
On 4th down, ready to punt, Michael Dixon. And a nice job here on special teams. This will be down inside the 10 at the 8-yard line. So they'll play the field position game here as a very nice punt is going to pin them back.
Yeah, it's almost like watching a game of tennis, or do you prefer ping pong? You know, back and forth like that? But it definitely was excellent, wasn't it?
Here again comes the captain of this offense leading his crew back out there now. He's had a solid start to this game, but bottom line is they're losing, so he doesn't care about his stats. He just wants to right the ship on the scoreboard.
He wants to actually increase his stats because he feels like if he does, that means things will get better for his team, maybe get them back into the ball game or into the lead. In these situations, I remember playing with a quarterback once where he actually ran out onto the field first ahead of everyone else just to say, guys, let's go. Try and create that energy, create that spark.
Well, so far he has 1 touchdown, 1 interception. He'll be looking for that 2nd touchdown now. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Play action. Now it's locked. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
All right, need you to check my eyes here. This entire unit defensively, I think, has looked really strong in the first half, especially in the secondary. They've been cohesive, fast to the football. We just saw another example arriving there to help knock that one away.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. From the gun on 3rd down, Locke. This is the tight end Fant. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down.
I think that call was made not so much to try and get the 1st down, although they would have taken it if they could have gotten it, but to give their punter a little bit of space and try and help out their defense.
Yeah, they got the safe completion on 3rd. The Broncos send out their punter now, standing just outside his own goal line. Returnable for Lockett. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards, well struck. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Chris Carson trotting back out there. The passing game, they've had more success there than the running game. Maybe something they game plan for.
How come they didn't tell us about it?
Because they wanted to keep it a secret.
We did ask, didn't we? But I think what happened in this one is they've realized that they've established the run pretty well, and teams are going to key on that. They thought they could open it up and have success through the air, and that's exactly what's going on.
Yeah, they've had success at least so far here in the 2nd quarter. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Here's Wilson. Escaping the pressure right. He's going to take off with it. No one there to help out downfield, but no problem scrambling for 22 and a 1st.
On that play, as you saw the route start to develop downfield, I got the sense that maybe the run would set up for him, and he took full advantage of it and got a big gain on a busted play.
Check left. Watch the blitz.
Wilson after the play fake to Carson. He'll try it. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. It's picked up by the Broncos. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line.
When I see a play like that, I come back to risk reward. I don't know about you, but is it worth it at that point, whatever you're going to pick up, to either take the hit, and in this case, lose the football?
So should have gone down. I mean, hindsight's always 20/20, but that's the safe play.
You're exactly right. Hindsight's really never wrong, is it? Because you can analyze it, but I think ultimately you got to look at it as a first option, taking care of the ball, getting what you can, and that's it. Don't worry about it anymore.
Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at the 40. They'll run with Freeman here to begin the drive. And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
On 2nd down, a run with Lindsey. And he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line. Give him a yard on the run there, and that's going to set up a 3rd down and 2.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
On play action, Locke. Got a man open, it's Sutton. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. That'll put him at 66 receiving yards now for the game, and he's got a 1st down. So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 32-yard line.
They're not ready for this. They still playing soft.
Now a carry for Lindsey. And an alley to run. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Denver has a 1st down on the 15-yard play.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
Down. 60 or.
And let's pin the mirrors back and go full strength.
Right. 5.
Into the red zone, it's Locke. Finding the open man, and that's Tim Patrick. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Here's Locke to throw. He'll find Lindsey here. And here he'll get it down to the 7. They give him 2 yards there as they're set up now with a 1st and goal. Great mix of play calling so far. 3 runs, 3 passes. All 3 passes have been completions. 1st and goal.
I think on defense now, you have to almost take a chance. Rely on your scouting. Pick a play you think they would run here and just load up for it and see what happens.
They'll run here with Freeman. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. The defensive line made pretty easy work of the offensive line that time.
And people get tired of the cliche that the battle is won in the trenches. But it's a cliche because it's true. And how about the battle right there? One on the edge, and the ball carrier did not benefit.
And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive. This stadium once registered as the loudest roar ever recorded, and you can hear him now. 3rd and goal. Locked now on 3rd and goal. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. From 6 yards away, as they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game.
A lot of people might call this backyard football. Sometimes just understanding who you've got out wide and who you're going to throw it to. Give him an opportunity to go up and make a play, even when contested. Looks like that one worked out pretty well. The trust factor in effect.
Now McManus to tack on the extra point. And this is up and good to make it a 17-14 game. A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all. And it ends with a Denver touchdown. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Russell Wilson now gears up to lead the offense again. He's got to be feeling pretty good, playing well. Team has the lead, so just looking to mount a drive here that ends in the end zone.
And all quarterbacks will tell you, hey, we love a running game, helps us out. But at the end of the day, they want to rely on their arm. Throw the football, feel good about things, keep things moving in the right direction. Right now, that's exactly what we're seeing.
And we'll see if that continues. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 23. They'll start out on the ground with Carson. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
In order to play really good run defense when you're playing a 3-4, those 3 guys up front, the nose tackle and the guys they call the defensive ends, they're usually big, big people because they're going to have to eat up a lot of blockers because it's usually 5 on 3. And when they do their job well, guys who play on the inside, those inside linebackers, they're able to just roam and hit.
Out to his left. He's going to take off with it. Space to maneuver at the 40. He gets it across the 50 and down to the 48. That one good for 26 and a 1st down. Not only another 1st down, that also puts him over 100 yards rushing.
That's not something you see very often in the NFL. We see it more in college. But I think with more of the melding of the college game with quarterbacks, we'll see this a little bit more often in the future.
So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 48-yard line. Oh, and now some space to operate. 20. And all the way in. Touchdown, Seattle. Tyler Lockett. He scored on the ground and through the air. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. And there they got him the ball. Just get it to him, let him do the rest.
You know, he probably said that to his quarterback as he broke the huddle. I like the play call. Just get it to me. I'll take care of the rest of it.
Helping out his rack, right? RAC?
Run after catch, and he loves that, and he's going to carry that in at contract time.
The extra point now coming from Myers. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And a pretty good run there in the end to top it off. after the touchdown. Here's Myers to boot it away. This is taken at his 4. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. And Charles, the way touchdowns have come so fast and furious for both sides of this thing, it's starting to feel a little bit more like maybe a tennis match than a football game. Yeah, I like your description there. Maybe we're sitting in a nice royal box watching this type of a game. But let's face it, right now, the way it's going back and forth, it's going to come down to who can get a stop. Lock and the Broncos going to come up 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. The drive will commence with a run by Lindsey. And he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5. And that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. They'll run. It's Lindsey. He takes this from the 30 to the 34. Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism. They created some nice space for him. The Broncos on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. They'll try and run for it with Lindsey. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. Able to get what they need to keep the drive going with a 6-yard pickup on 3rd down. I know the game's changed. A lot of people would say it's evolved. Look, I'm a little bit Neanderthal, okay? I love this. No exotic formations, no misdirection. Just line up and run the darn ball, pick up the first down. I love it. Yeah, 3rd and short, that's what you're supposed to do. Like you said, old school, smash mouth football.
On the ready.
54. Mike 54. Danny. Tight dog.
Big grip.
This quick pass complete to Sutton. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And they get the football. They'll set up shop at their own 49-yard line. We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield. Tyler Lockett trotting onto the field, getting set for this next drive. He's the star wide receiver, and he's doing his thing so far here into the 2nd quarter. And how you get distinguished as a star is each and every week performing to a high level no matter what they throw at you, because you're always wanting to take him out of the game if you're a defensive team. How do you press him, double him, triple him, all those things? But the best players show up each and every week, solid games and some spectacular ones. And he has showed up time and time again. They start out with a run from Procise. Takes to midfield, but no further, just a yard there. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. A reminder coming up here at halftime. We'll ship you off to Orlando. Jonathan Coachman will have first half highlights and analysis from a back-and-forth first half that we've seen. Now this throw caught left side. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 23 yards the pickup there. Talk about a big first half. Already has the 2 touchdowns, adding to his receiving total there and picking up the first down. He's coming off the line so fast. I think he's intimidating the defensive backs with his explosiveness, and he's chipping away at their confidence. On first down, Wilson. This one into the hands of Metcalf. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 11 yards there and a first down for Seattle. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't they?
When we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, you know, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime.
First and goal at the 3-yard line.
A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on first and goal. They'll run it. This is Procise. And he will not be denied. Into the end zone. Touchdown, Seahawks. A 3-yard touchdown run. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further.
Heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that can finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Now Myers for the extra point. And that'll make this a 3-score game as the lead moves to 17. Just a 4-play drive that time. And it ends with a 3-yard scoring run. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. And Denver getting set to take the field. And you're under a minute to go in the half, a first half that hasn't been particularly kind to you. How do you think they'll play this?
Well, I think the smart approach is to run out the clock, lick your wounds at the half, and see if you can come up with a strategy to play better in the second. But there's also something to challenging your offense right here. You know, hey, guys, you help dig this hole. See if you can get us out of it a little bit before the half runs out. Let's go make some plays.
Here we go, set, 15, line, 51.
Lock now on first down. This one complete to the running back, Lindsey. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Now Locke. He'll get this one to Patrick. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Block now, closing in on a 200-yard first half through the air. It's 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, here's Locke. Throw left side complete. That's Lindsey.
Complete to Philip Lindsay. He steps out of bounds behind the line of scrimmage.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9.
Push him back.
Ready, ready.
Again, they'll throw with Locke. Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 29-yard line.
He's a rookie, and you don't want to get hung up on the word potential. But when you see him make catches like that, you keep thinking to yourself, he's good now. He's got a chance to be great with plenty of work.
Locke going to bring the offense up 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. To throw it is Locke. And he's going to have the hook up to Sutton. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. This just a 35-yard attempt from the left hash. And McManus able to put it through. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. Well, not the best first half facing this deficit, but at least they did put 3 on the board before half.
Yeah, it's a little bit like that stormy, cloudy day, and the sun peeks through just for a second. They saw the sun there. They're hoping to see a little bit more of it in the second half.
After splitting the uprights, McManus to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much, and welcome everyone to this abridged version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. This one has certainly been one-sided to this point. It's a 2-touchdown difference as the teams have already come back out onto the field for the second half. So let's get you back out as well to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Seahawks with the advantage, and they get the football first as the second half is underway. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Here's a handoff to Carson to begin the drive. And he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Throwing is Wilson. He'll find Metcalf. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
1st and 10 at the 36-yard line.
Wilson now, pretty amazing. 14 of 16 throwing the ball. It's 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Wilson. He hits his running back, Procise. Second and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. Now a give right side. It's Carson, and he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
And plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the second half to give it a little spark. I think their halftime adjustments, what they talked about, maybe it was just a little inspirational speech. Who knows? But looks like they're ready to go.
From the gun on 3rd down, Wilson. Open man is Metcalf. He's got it. First down, Seattle on a pickup of 13.
Has a pretty good throw on the curl route there. 3rd down, and they pick up a first.
Defense should be aware for that, right?
They should be aware, but it was so hard sometimes.
Yeah, it's not easy.
Because when they sell that route really well, you think they're going upfield, then they curl back, show their numbers to the quarterback, and complete the play.
So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 46. Now a toss play. It's Carson. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. Now that sends them 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down. Hey, a lot of points have been scored in this game against them, but tally that one on the side of the defense.
Do you think maybe, possibly, it can be a little bit of a changer for them? Maybe not a game changer, but a little bit of a momentum one that maybe they can string together some pretty good plays and slow them down.
Mike 51. It's just me and you. It's just me and you.
On 2nd and 12, Wilson stepping up. He's going to keep it. All that gets him is just a yard, and now it's 3rd down.
Looked at me like they adopted what my kindergarten teacher always said. If at first you don't succeed, try again. And finally, able to hold him in check. He'd been carving him up running the ball.
That's the first time I think I've seen where the coverage was good downfield, and they accounted for him and stopped him for a short pickup.
Yeah, I don't think it was a big adjustment, but much more emphasis on making sure they knew where he was when he decided to take off and go.
Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked off by Kareem Jackson. And he'll bring this one back to the 29.
Come on, God. We got this.
First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
So now a look at the Broncos as they head back out there for their first possession of the second half. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal, field goal, field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. Locke and the Broncos going to come up 1st and 10, just shy of the 30. After the turnover, here's Locke. He's got his big tight end, Fant. No gain there on the completion, 2nd and 10.
That was a nice throw out there to the flat, but they defended that pretty well. The hope is to go ahead and put it on him so he can turn and get upfield and gain additional yardage. There just wasn't anywhere to go on that play.
Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. Faking the give to Lindsey, here's Locke. And his throw is incomplete. He was looking for Tim Patrick that time, and it's 3rd down. Great coverage there all around. Really didn't have many options to throw the football.
Very little chance that that one was going to be completed. Every receiver was locked up.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Throwing his Locke on 3rd down. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Lindsey. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
And Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now 1st and 10 at their own 26. Now a throw over the middle, and he's got it to start the drive. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32.
Hey, come on now, come on now. Good side.
Wilson from the gun on 3rd down. That's complete to Disley, the tight end. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 10 yards and a Seattle 1st down. 5th catch of the game for him there.
Yeah, and the tight end position is now becoming a volume pass catcher. It used to be occasional, right? Safety valve, throw one to him every so often, but mainly they want him out there to block. Nowadays, an integral part of the passing game, and they create such great mismatches that they often become the leading receiver.
Wilson now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. They'll toss it out to Carson. And very little daylight there. He'll get a couple up to the 44.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
From the 44. Wilson, and that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on third down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8.
Single.
From the shotgun, Wilson. That's complete into the hands of Carson. Give him 6 on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. And I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. Now here's Michael Dixon. He'll boot it away from about his 35. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. He's played well. Good first half. He's continued that here in the third quarter. But my question, when you're a head coach, what do you look at stat line-wise for your court? Do you go right to turnovers?
You really do. As much as coaches don't want to talk about that, that's where it starts. When I played in college, our first rule for every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. And that's kind of how they judge you. Do you take care of the ball, not turn it over, keep it in the proper hands, and give your team a chance to win?
Well, that's what he's done here in this one so far. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
Ready up.
March by 4. Exit.
Shoot.
On second down, it's Lindsey, and he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a third down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. On play action, Locke. He's got his tight end Fant. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a first down.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to, pick up a first down.
Down. 70. Indy.
He don't know no better.
Let's go.
They'll run on first down. Lindsey, and the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down.
But these guys are going to chomp into that deficit. They're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
Come on, set. 60 or.
Here we go. Watch left, watch left, watch left. He's stopped right there. We got 4.
Now.
They'll go again with Lindsey. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield.
Well, that's pretty symptomatic about how things have gone here. That play was just shut down right from the start.
And not going to give them a lot of confidence to help turn things around. A couple of plays sent them the wrong way, and now they face a 3rd and 14.
Ready.
Play action. Now it's Locke. Finding the open man, and that's Tim Patrick. And he'll go out of bounds. It appears right at the 45. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down. The Broncos send out their punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. Here's Russell Wilson and the Seahawk offense now getting set to go again. And the passing game, I mean, look at the numbers. It's fallen off. When a team is struggling, sometimes you look at the quarterback. When the quarterback starts to struggle, who goes over and picks him up?
Yeah, that's always a big one, isn't it? Usually, there's a quarterback whisperer somewhere. And what I mean by that is, whether it's an assistant coach, whether it's one of his best friends on the team, someone that can get in his ear, get with him and say, all right, my man, what do you need? What's going on here? So he's one person he can lean on. He's going to have to lean on that guy right now.
Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. You know what the converse is, though? You've got to win those one-on-one blocks, and when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the 1st down run goes backwards. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Carson. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
I have zero rooting interest in either team in this game. I only want a good game. But with all the offense we've seen from them tonight, it's kind of nice to see the defense step up and make a big play.
Yeah, I was wondering if they were ever going to get him in the backfield. Nice to see him get a stop. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. To throw is Wilson. And, oh, he took that in one-handed. What a grab. And he'll be hit and dropped for a loss at the 5-yard line.
Gotta love the catch. I think you gotta love the gloves as well.
Yeah, these one-handed catches, that was great, and they're fun. They're becoming a little more ho-hum, aren't they?
Yeah, they really are. And I know that it sounds like we're taking credit away from the guys, and we don't mean that at all. They really work hard on this one-handed catch thing, but I think the gloves have to be helping in a big way.
Now here's Michael Dixon as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he's able to get it out of there, and this is a pretty good kick. That's taken it around the 40. And that's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And the Broncos take over, 1st down and 10. Now we get a peek at the captain of this offense heading back out there. How do you think he personally is evaluating his game so far? He was pretty good in the 1st half, been good so far here in the 3rd quarter. He's got to like it, right?
Not looking for the dramatics here. Not trying to set the world on fire in terms of stats. It's almost like you're driving. Hands at 10 and 2, alert for anything out there, watching for trouble on the road, and making sure you get the team home.
The bus driver. See if he can drive the bus here again on this drive. And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. Cortland Sutton was the man he was looking for, but it's going to be 2nd down. You and I watched film yesterday, and you told me to watch his feet. Well, for whatever reason, his footwork just looked off on that throw.
And you always love it when an ex-defensive back talks quarterback mechanics, right?
Well, but you're good at it.
Well, I try, all right? I don't know how good I am, but it doesn't take much to tell. His mechanics are off a little bit, exactly what you described. Footwork, that led to the incompletion.
And he'll get it down here to the 43. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
Block now to throw. And with a flag down, he goes down. So they're able to sack him. Now the penalty looks like it could be holding. Let's find out. So instead of giving them another third down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now, that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
The Broncos send out their punter now. He's been terrific so far. He gets us away. It's a good one, drawing toward the sidelines. And they won't risk defending a return here. That one's out of bounds, and it'll be spotted at the 14-yard line. And the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 14-yard line. They'll begin the drive with Carson. And he'll take this up only to about his 18-yard line. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Not much happening there on 1st down.
I thought there might have been a hole for a split second.
Yeah, but it dried up pretty quickly, didn't it? Closed fast.
380.
You don't want none, baby. You don't want none. Hey, you don't
Good touch.
On 2nd and 7, Wilson. It's caught. Block it. 10 yards and a Seattle 1st down. And he's certainly been a huge factor in this when he's got the 2 touchdowns to his credit. Now they look to him again. He picks up the 1st.
Yeah, I can hear everyone saying, well, why don't you cover him, double him, triple him, do what you have to do. But sometimes they get locked into such a groove and such a connection, it doesn't matter how many guys are in his area.
He certainly looks to be in that groove right now. They go play action here on 1st down. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And they finally do get him, but not before he reaches the 27. A big play that time for the Seahawks. 45 yards.
Just more of the same there, partner. Guys have just been running free in the secondary this entire game. No pass rush, a lot of passes completed. Been an easy day for them.
So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. What a difference a play makes. A huge step forward and now a small step back as he loses a yard or 2. This offense has had a lot to like in this game. I don't know that last play, though, is going to make the highlight reel.
It's not going to make the highlight reel, but it will be the focus of the film session that the team has to sit through. I've sat through those before. Never any fun. You're always excited about your good plays, and they actually fast forward through those. All right, that was good. All right, great. They get to the bad ones and really illuminate them. Not cool.
On 2nd and 11 now. Wilson, and this will be incomplete.
Now, the secondary's really struggled today, but that's a little bit of a measure of revenge, isn't it? And they just followed the basic rules. See ball, knock ball away, turned into a nice play.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Wilson, after the play fake to Carson, letting one go deep for the end zone. DK Metcalf. 28 yards. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit, get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Game, second half, no matter what. Whether it's first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever. This was a big score to start the second half.
The extra point now coming from Myers. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. That time a 6-play drive. And the Seahawks capping it off with a touchdown. After the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Now this Broncos offensive unit ready to head back out onto the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Lock and the Broncos going to come up 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Throwing on 1st down is Locke. His throw incomplete. He was trying to find Noah Fant, the tight end. That'll bring up 2nd down.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. That one going for a gain of 11 and a Bronco 1st down.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Lock now on 1st down. That went into the hands of Hamilton. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. The Bronco 1st down there, 12 yards on the play.
1st down, Broncos.
And this will probably be the last play of the quarter.
He can't hang. He's not going to get me.
And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this 2nd half. Here's 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, here's Locke. He'll find Lindsey here. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 18 big yards on that one, and a Denver 1st.
And this is why trying to cover the angle route is so difficult. Anyone playing the linebacker position, when they see a running back out of the backfield widen because he heads towards the flat first, oftentimes you widen too much and overcommit. He cuts up inside, and that's what we saw there. A nice pickup for a 1st down.
So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 34. On 1st down, Locke. This is the tight end Fant. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
That 1st down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7.
Check 52.
They'll try the draw, Lindsey. And he loses the football a 2nd time.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover.
Ready.
Clock now on first down. This one complete to the running back, Lindsey. And a penalty flag is down to the backfield as they finally bring him to the turf. But I'm not sure this is going to stand. So apparently some grabbing there in the middle of the O-line.
I've often wondered why that doesn't happen more often for guys that play center. Having to snap the ball and then trying to get your hands into the proper position, that's difficult to do. He got caught that time.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty.
Get in the weight room. Get in the weight room.
Block working out of the gun. Completes it to Fant on the right side. An excellent pickup of 20 yards. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10.
Mike's 50.
Ready?
This is Freeman. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
I'm trying to collect. Tight right. Even. 4 down. Even.
On 2nd and 7, Lock. The completion to Riddick. And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a 1st down. So give him the yardage on the pass and half the distance to the goal line.
Because they're inside the 30, so now you don't march off the full 15, right? You have half the distance to the goal. In any event, that's precious real estate given up.
So now then the penalty's got him set up with a 1st and goal.
Oh, yeah. And here we go again.
They look to throw. It's Lock. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. Down this close to the goal line, 1st down. Surprised that wasn't a run?
I am, and you know I'm old school. I want to run the ball on 1st down in this situation because 2nd down, that gives me an option of running play action and maybe throwing it.
They come out here in the eye. 2nd and goal, and they will try again from the 2-yard line. They'll look to run with Freeman. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And that is going to set up 3rd and goal. This linebacking core, they've done a good job of keeping that running game in check, haven't they?
They certainly have, and what they'll also do when this game is over is thank the guys up front, the big defensive line, because they've kept them clean, so to speak. Not letting blockers get to them, allowing them to run to the football and keep that running game bottled up.
This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete. Give credit to K.J. Wright. He was disrupting defensively. So now 4th and goal. You're trailing by a decent amount here. What are you doing, Coach Davis?
Well, I've got to think to myself, just how many more opportunities am I going to have this close and have this chance? I've got to go for it right here. The clock's dwindling on me. Let's go get it done.
And a field goal obviously means nothing here. They're going to go ahead and go for it on 4th down. Lock going to go on 4th down. And this is caught. For the moment, it's a touchdown, but multiple flags down, so let's sort this out. So they will accept the penalty and move forward.
280.
Who that? Who that?
Now Wilson down around his goal line. Sliding out of the pocket. Now he'll pull it down. Give him a couple on the scramble. It's second down.
So many times we talk about having good eye discipline when you're playing defense, making sure your eyes are in the proper place on a given play. Looks like that discipline came to the front there, didn't it? They were able to hold him for a short gain when he took off running.
We own them. We own them.
On second down now, it's Carson. And he's up past the 10 to about the 12. It'll be a gain of 5, but still about 3 yards shy of the first down marker, and now it's third down.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
They run again with Carson. And he's going to be taken down here, still a couple yards short of the first. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's fourth down.
Now, that was a big-time play by the defense. They as well knew where the first down line was, and they didn't let them get anywhere near it.
Now here's Michael Dixon, standing about a yard deep in his own end zone. Rush comes and they block it. And the most curious way there to burn some clock. That was wild, and at the end of all that, it winds up a safety. All right, Charles, help me out here. Fourth quarter, you've got the lead, and you run backwards into the end zone. You're just trying to do too much.
I almost don't have words for it, but you know every coach that we talk to talks about running backs or people running the football, running north-south, getting upfield. He went way in the opposite direction, and that's going to cost his team.
Yeah, it cost him big time. Still leading, but it costs him. So after that safety, now a free kick situation forthcoming as they punt it away from the 20. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
Locke and the Broncos going to come up 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. From the gun, it's Locke. He's going to float this one deep right side. And that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's second down. I guess at this point, Charles, heck, why not take some shots?
I would agree with that totally, because a big play can't hurt at all. Heck, you might get a pass interference call out of it. Somehow the ball might get tipped up and you come down with it. Might not do too much for the result of the game, but it could add to your stats.
Locke again here on 2nd and 10. Got a man that's complete to Hamilton. And he gets this up to the 34 out of bounds there. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for third down. The Broncos on third down. They've converted 5 times in their many chances thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. Locke going to throw. And he coughed it up. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, you'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. Here come the Seahawks now, set to take over on offense. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
All day, every day, any day.
And to give this time to the tailback. Oh, he sheds himself free. 25 yards the pick up there, and also a first down.
That outside handoff to the left, that play has to warm the heart of an offensive line coach because they controlled the left side where they were supposed to. But they didn't allow anything to leak from the backside on the right side of the offensive line either. Well played.
Yeah, and it created a big run.
Green 80.
Watch the run, watch the run.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL. And he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should.
And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Russell Wilson now with 4 touchdown passes on the afternoon. And the fumble recovery leads to 6 points for the Seahawks. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning, right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
Now Myers for the extra point. And that will bump the lead up to 26. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And it all culminates with a Seattle score. After the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Now the Broncos offense, they get set to head back onto the field. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
You like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
Lock and the Broncos going to come up 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Yeah, that one sailed on him. You've got to make sure you give your receiver a chance to come down inbounds because they are very gifted. They'll make the circus catches, but if they make them out of bounds, that does you no good.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Back to the air on 2nd down. It's Locke, and his throw's going to be incomplete. Deshaun Hamilton, the intended receiver, but now it's 3rd down. That pass just a little bit off. It looked like maybe he tried to force it in there.
Game speed, always different, no matter what you do in practice. Can't simulate it, right? So your decision-making, everything has to be a little bit quicker. Sometimes it can throw you off until you adjust.
To throw it is Locke. He's got this complete to Hamilton. And he'll be stopped at the 27-yard line, well short of the first down marker. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
One of the money routes for any offense, the drag route. So tough to defend because the receiver can stop at any point and make himself available to the quarterback and get a completion. But I love the communication we saw there. All the defenders pointing out the receiver, where he was going, and then they're able to rally to the ball after the catch and stop him short of a first down.
Their already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down. Throwing now is Locke. He'll let this go deep for Sutton. And they will not be able to hook up there. It's incomplete. The Broncos unable to convert here on 4th. And the Seahawks, they'll get the football back in outstanding field position. He'll have a tough time living that one down. It's one thing, Charles, to drop a pass. It's quite another to drop it on 4th down.
And so many teams work on that in terms of locking in on those key downs. You know, you and I both been to practices where we've seen, hey, 3rd down situation, big 3rd down alert, lock in here, 4th down play, make sure you focus just a little bit extra. It didn't pay off in that situation.
Mike 51. Quit talking about it and bring it.
On 1st down, Carson.
Get it.
The All-Pro Von Miller there on the tackle.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold him to a short gain on 1st down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run.
380.
51. Here we go. Let's bring it. Let's go. Let's bring it. Let's bring it.
They'll keep it on the ground. It's Carson, and he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. They'll try to left side. Carson. And he'll be stopped at the 27-yard line, well short of the 1st down marker. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll bring up 4th down. So out comes the field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. He hit his first one, this from 44 yards out now. Myers' kick is good. And that will push the lead up from 26, and it grows up to 29. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
Myers now converted on the field goal try. Now he's on to kick it away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. And Denver getting set to take the field. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. But good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened there.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. He was looking to get it to Phillip Lindsay there. And it's 2nd down. Before the game, they were running the route tree about as efficiently and effectively as we could have possibly imagined, but sometimes the passes just go awry.
Yeah, let's face it, when you're running the route tree in pregame, you don't have defenders breathing down your neck. You don't have defensive backs making plays on the football. Hard to replicate the...
And he fires one that's intercepted. Shaquille Griffin with a pick. And he's going to score. It's a Seahawk touchdown. Defensively, they've had their way in this one. That pick six makes that scoreboard even more lopsided.
I remember talking with a guy in the league, and I said, what do you do when the game's like this? You know, it's pretty much over. You ready to go to the bench and hang out? He said, oh, heck no. I want to stay on the field. I might get some stats. Might get a pick or two.
You like being out there at the end of these wide margins.
When they have to throw it, that gives you more opportunities to go get it.
The extra point now coming from Myers. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick six. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. So the Broncos coming out now. Lock and the Broncos going to come up 1st and 10 at their own 26. Lock trying again after the pick six. Over the middle, complete. That's Lindsey. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. And passing yardage-wise, now up over 350 in this game. Pretty nice performance.
Definitely that, which usually means you're putting a lot of pressure on guys trying to cover. If you're a defensive back and they put over 350 yards on you, you've had a long day. The key to everything, if you're doing it without throwing interceptions or turning the ball over.
Here's a throw that's taken in out of the backfield. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
That was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? 2nd and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the 1st down, and that's exactly what he did.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Here's Lock to throw. Finding the open man, and that's Tim Patrick. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 17 yards for the Broncos there as they've got themselves a 1st down. So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 43. Again, they'll throw with Lock. He's got his big tight end, Fant, and he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
That 1st down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Now Lock again. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And give him 6 yards here as he stopped near the 35 at the 34. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him the football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make someone miss in the open field. Perhaps they overthought this one a little bit. They've been running it real well on this drive, and it was 3rd and short, okay? They decided to throw the football incomplete. Yeah, they might have thought just a little bit too hard about that play selection.
Brandon McManus on for the field goal. A 51-yard attempt.
And this is off target to the left. Didn't get there anyway. It's no good, and this score will stay right where it is.
Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to come back onto the field. The outcome of this one, well, we know who's going to win it. It's just all window dressing at this point. Got me thinking, what's the biggest blowout that you've been a part of as a player, broadcaster?
Well, I'm not going to go to the player part because when I think blowout...
Because you won every game as a player.
No. I think about being blown out. And no one wants to go back to those memories. But, you know, when I was calling college football, I saw a game that, you know, a team put 70. I actually saw it happen twice. A team put 70 on their opponent. And in the NFL in the 2017 season, I saw one of those changing of the guard games where a team that hadn't been very good before now was dominating and kicking around a team who had been ruling their division.
And that's when you earn your paycheck, right? As the analyst, you got to fill that time.
You've got to know what's going on out there and how it all happened.
Well, obviously, that begs the question, what game was it?
That was Seattle hosting Los Angeles, the Rams.
Yeah.
Their second meeting of the season, and the Rams turned it around from the first one and blew out the Seahawks.
It'll be a pickup of 5, and that leaves them with 5 more. 3rd and 5 now.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. They've got a 3rd down now as they look for one more first down to help salt this one away. And he will have the first down as he gets this to the 47. Bit of a surprise. They ran it on 3rd and medium. Proved to be the right call. 1st and 10.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Now a give right side. It's Carson. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on 2nd down. Well, they'll take that every time with a lead. 1st down, 4th quarter, getting 8 yards. You love that.
They will take it, and you have to ask the defensive guys, why did you give it? I mean, you know the situation. You're down, have to stop them, have to get the football back. But 8 yards on 1st down puts them back on their heels.
On 2nd down, it's Carson. They got 2 of the 3 they needed there. It leaves them with 3rd and just a yard.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things. But the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Let's go, defense. Let's go, defense. Who we got?
Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. It's a win for the Seahawks here as we say so long from Seattle.